Um, Good afternoon, Hector. Glad you came in today. My name is Dr. Mann, and I'm going to be meeting with you today. Believe that you have some concerns. So let's get started by telling me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a 35-year-old Hispanic male, and I got in an automobile accident and sustained some injuries.
Okay. Um, so the injuries that you sustained, they seem like they're maybe pretty serious. So tell me a little bit about the injuries that you sustained.
Well, I got injured the right arm and shoulder, hip and leg, always in constant pain, um, and I'm losing my balance a lot of time, unsteady gait. So, and
Okay.
sometimes it caused me to have to use a walker or a cane.
Okay, so those do sound pretty serious. So what I hear you saying is their lifestyle has changed quite, like your everyday activities have changed due to your injuries. So tell me about your everyday life. What has these injuries prevented you from doing on a daily basis?
Well, my injuries were very serious. Like I said, I suffer with chronic pain. Um, I worked in a family-owned business for many of years after high school. That's all I really know is the construction business. I'm not trained or have knowledge of anything else. So um,
Okay.
it makes me depressed that I'm unable to um, work in the family business and help out my family.
Okay. So you worked in the construction business. For several years. This is the only type of work that you know. So I understand completely. So is there any reason why you haven't addressed these issues? Why haven't you consulted with a physician or to see how what you can do about assisting you in getting back into to working?
Well, I guess it's a lack of knowledge or a lack of resource on my behalf.
Okay. So have you like you say that there are lack of resources? So um, tell me about how you have attempted to find some resources. What approaches have you encountered, or what have you done to um, to find some resources to help you along with your health issues?
Well, to be honest with you, it's a lot of procrastination
Hmm.
and just lack of knowledge. Sometimes I'll pick up the phone and get on the internet and kind of look at some different local um, physicians or physical therapy that can help me out. But it's procrastination on my
Okay. So the resources that you have attempted to acquire. What about your family? What kind of support have you had from your family? And tell me a little bit about your family and how they have tried to support you in this time of need.
Well, like I said, I come from a Hispanic background. Traditionally, we're very close knitted. Um, to be honest with you, my family have really supported me in a lot of different ways. And sometimes I felt like overly supported because they're constantly hovering over me, constantly wanting to know how I'm feeling or what I should do or what I need to do.
So your family has tried to help you in supporting you throughout this time. So let's talk even further about your family. Um, are you are there any other family members that have helped you? Because what I hear you saying is, although your family has tried to help you, you feel like you are um, like they have like like they're maybe overly supportive and kind of like crowding over you. And how does that make you feel? Being that your culture, you know, uh,
Well, a lot of times I don't want to talk about how I feel in my culture, men are supposed to suppress their feelings, not talk about how they're hurting. Um, Being depressed is a sign of weakness. So I try to avoid talking about how I feel.
Okay. So your culture, as you mentioned before, um, how does your culture, do you believe that your culture kind of like prohibits you from doing certain things? And how has that prohibited you from doing certain things because of of your beliefs in culture?
Well, and in my culture, the man's supposed to take care of the home. He's the breadwinner, supports his family. Um, the wife's supposed to stay home traditionally and care for the kids and cook. So I feel bad that I'm not the sole breadwinner.
Okay. So you mentioned that you are married. So how has your wife supported you throughout this as well?
My wife has been very supportive. In fact, just as my parents and siblings, she's constantly hovers over me and want to know how I'm doing, what I need to do, how I'm feeling. And, I'm just not able to talk about it a lot of times.
Okay. And what has how has any of this over support from your family affected you in reference to, like, is there like in reference to substance abuse use? Um, how have you used any substances that has negatively affected you at this time?
I constantly drink a lot, excessive drinking to hide my feelings and suppress my feelings, and really doesn't want to be bothered when I'm drinking. Is a way for me to just deal with myself, deal with and that's my inner peace.
Okay. So so what I hear you saying is that you use alcohol as a source of comfort
Hmm.
to get you through the hard times, and probably and potentially take your mind off of your issues. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yes.
Okay. So what negative impact can alcohol have on you in the long term?
Well, excessive drinking is not good for you. Your thinking patterns are distorted. You're not making the right decisions. You're depressed a lot. You're angry, and I am angry a lot of the times.
Okay. So what I hear you saying is that you do understand that there are some negative long-term effects of alcohol use, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what coping strategies have you used to offset those the use of alcohol?
A lot of times is using music, relaxation, therapy, counting, deep breathing exercise.
Okay. Those are all good things. What about in relations to like your culture? Like, are there any cultural rituals that you might want to talk about that can also assist you in utilization of your coping skills?
Um, I really can't think of any traditional cultural things that would make my situation better.
Okay, so perhaps those are things that we can talk about in future sessions. Um, so, what are some coping skills maybe someone else has maybe suggested to you as well? I understand that this is your first counseling session, and have you ever been introduced to any like health, working out or yoga or anything like that, or is that something that you believe, as far as culture wise, that would benefit you in the long run? Is that something that you would be interested in doing?
I think with my limitation, I think exercise would be a good program or regimen for me to do.
Okay, that all sounds good. So today we took a step in the right direction. So what it appears to me is that maybe at this point in time, you may be in the contemplation stage of change. So, we have a lot of things that we can work on. So in our next session, we will address, some other coping skills that will help you along the way in reference to your health issues. And also with the family support, and how beneficial it is to have that support in your life. Is that something that you would be interested in discussing?
Sure.
Okay. So you have any questions for me before we end this session?
I don't have any questions, but I just want to say that it was nice talking about the problems and meeting you. I got a lot of burden off of me, so
Okay.
it was a good meet.
That's awesome, awesome. So then we'll set an appointment for next week, and I look forward to seeing you again for the next session.
Thank you.
Thank you.